Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Let's Talk Parks with Barry Dunn. My name is Becky Dunlap, and I'm a manager here with the Parks, Recreation, and Libraries practice. Today, we are excited to bring you a new episode about National Parks and Recreation Month, and we are celebrating by having some of our teammates come onto the show and talk about either a project where they have built something amazing or help to build something amazing with some of the clients and communities that we've served, or some way that they play during the summer and get out and enjoy the great outdoors. So those are the two questions to help guide the voice memos and stories that were shared by several of our colleagues today. Hope you enjoy this episode. Lisa Wolf is going to start us off from North Carolina.
Hi there, my name is Lisa Wolf, and I'm a senior consultant with the Parks, Recreation, and Libraries practice group with Barry Dunn. And really, when I think about the planning process and one of the projects with its most success and those planning efforts, I can't help but think about Charles County, Maryland. For reference, Charles County is just outside of the Metro Washington, D.C. area, on the Maryland side of that area. The Land Preservation, Parks, and Recreation Plan, otherwise known as the LPPRP, is really a required planning document that those jurisdictions in the state of Maryland must update every 5 years in order to remain eligible for funding from the state program Open Space Opportunities. And what it does, it basically evaluates the local needs and priorities, not only related to parks and recreation, but also agricultural and land preservation, as well as natural resource protection. And it serves basically as the guide for any type of future investments or policy decisions for the county within those 5-year time span moving forward. So Charles County's LPPRP is really a strong example of how thoughtful planning can lead to meaningful community impact. Through leadership and a lot of strategic guidance, the planning process brought together various voices throughout the county, from residents, from other department heads within the county, other municipalities within the county, and staff and civic leaders to really create that shared roadmap for the county moving forward and enhancing all of those great opportunities. The plan balanced those state requirements with what those local priorities are and really ensures that the county's unique character, the growing population, and long-term needs are at the forefront. I have to say that one of the most coolest and probably most memorable moments when I was working on this plan was when I had the opportunity to take a guided tour on boat of Mallows Bay, which really is otherwise known as the Ghost Fleet of the Potomac. There are approximately 200 shipwrecks all within that Mallows Bay area, and it's really the largest and most varied collection of historic shipwrecks, from those that are weathered wood to rusted iron, some underwater, some grounded, and some really peeking out of the water. It's truly a unique opportunity that's focused on history. And it was really recently designated in 2019 as one of the first national marine sanctuaries within the Chesapeake Bay watershed. It was such a cool experience to be paddling along and see within the clear waters 2 to 4 feet down the old wooden shipwrecks and even some of the ironclad shipwrecks. So what are those successes that LPPRP brings about? Well, I can tell you that in 2023 alone, approximately 1,700 acres of farmland and forests were preserved through that Rural Legacy Program with the Maryland Agricultural Land Preservation Foundation and the Transfer of Development Rights Program. Then there was a $1.7 million in grants for open space, local funding, to acquire 4.5 acres for a future recreational park in Charles County. Along with that, also in October 2024, the Board of Public Works approved over $380,000 in rural legacy funds for conservation easements on over 103 acres in Charles County, 50 acres in the Nahanjamahoy, Mattawoman area, and 53 in Zakiah Rural Legacy area. The new development planning for parks, also the LPPRP informed planning efforts for 3 new parks in the county, the Waldorf Park, the Popes Creek Waterfront Park, and the La Plata Farm Park. These projects have really leveraged community task forces and public input with plans. Together, the outcomes of the LPPRP really updates has translated into tangible progress, conserving the substantial acreage and really bringing together state funding for land acquisition and recreation infrastructure so that the laying of the groundwork for new parks to serve those residents and visitors alike increases. So with all that being said, that's a similar example of other plans that I have done, including Calvert County, Maryland's LPPRP plan. You're probably wondering, what do you do in your free time? Well, believe it or not, I started my Parks and Recreation journey as a Parks and Rec kid in Wilmington, Delaware. From the neighborhood summer playground program to neighborhood baseball and basketball pickup games to tennis to participating as an adult as a ropes course facilitator, camp counselor, rec lead softball player, and the list goes on. That drive is still there deep within my roots, and I'm still involved in Parks and Recreation now at various levels. From serving at my second term as the chair of our local county Parks and Recreation Advisory Board to a hike, kayak trip, playing golf, or just a long day at the beach, Parks and Recreation's always played a huge part of my life. My professional career really spanned 31 years in Parks and Recreation, and that journey continues. Whether it's a day at the beach, playing with our 3 golden retrievers, watching both of my boys grow up as athletes, or really just working out in the yard and garden, the quality of my life matters, and that's why I celebrate Parks and Recreation Month with excitement and gratitude for a career path that really makes me smile pretty much every day. Hope you're able to smile every day and always celebrate Parks and Recreation.
Next up is a message from Elsa Fisher.
Happy Parks and Recreation Month. The theme, Build Together, Play Together, really resonates with me this year. This past April, I was elected to the Skokie Park District Board of Commissioners, so I am experiencing, or building, local parks and recreation with a new perspective and from a new seat, that of an elected official. I am thoroughly enjoying the role, approving the budget, brainstorming about new park spaces, visiting parks and facilities, and attending events, the July 4th parade here. I love being able to give back to my community by sharing my 40 years of parks and recreation experience. Have a great month.
Hi, I'm Ryan Hegrenis, a manager with the Barry Dunn Parks, Recreation, and Libraries practice. As we celebrate the theme of Build Together, Play Together for Park and Recreation Month, one project that embodies the Build Together theme is our work in Timnath, Colorado. As a fast-growing town in northern Colorado, Timnath partnered with us on a Parks, Recreation, and Open Space Master Plan. This was one of the first projects I had the opportunity to serve on as project manager and also as a lead for public engagement. During the community engagement phase, the overwhelming message was clear. The residents wanted a recreation center, and our statistically valid survey confirmed it with nearly 95% in support. That helped Timnath launch a recreation center feasibility study and subsequent community polling. What's exciting is how quickly the town of Timnath turned feedback into action, showing what's possible when communities and consultants build together. When it comes to playing together, I find connection and joy through Colorado's great outdoors, whether that's skiing in the winter, hiking in the summer, or paddling on a nearby lake. This morning, I hiked the Manitou Incline with my wife, and we plan to hike our second 14er with our kids later this summer. I also stay active through soccer. I've played since I was a kid, and now I play on indoor and outdoor leagues throughout the year. For nearly a decade, I've belonged to a local pickup group that spans generations. This group of men and women ranges from teenagers to seniors, and nearly every day, rain or shine, there is a pickup match to join. It's a powerful example of how sports can bring people together, not just during your childhood, but throughout your life.
Hello, Park and Recreation professionals. Happy Park and Recreation Month. This is Nikki Ginger, manager at Barry Dunn. I'm thinking about a project or success story that I really want to share. One that comes to mind right now is the City of Greeley's Culture, Park, and Recreation Department. They have been making such significant investments and spending so much time in trying to um, fulfill their diverse communities' needs, from investing in a strategic plan to plan out the future to comprehensive master plan that includes facility and sports field assessments. And looking at their staffing, they're really looking toward the future and how to build a more robust system than the one they already have, which is pretty darn impressive. And when I think about the way that I play in my community, there is no doubt that I'm pretty darn active and I love to ride or walk whenever I possibly can. Ride my bike, that is. And probably one of my favorite hobbies, or definitely one of my favorite hobbies, is traveling, getting those stamps in my passport. So if you're ever interested in talking travel with me, grab my ear, please, because I'd love to hear all about your exciting travels. Have a wonderful time.
Well, I hope that all of you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope everyone has a great rest of the summer. I can't believe it's winding down. But until next time, let's talk parks.